In the studio with me now is Detective Graham Coe of the Brockville Police Services, and we're going to be talking about scams, fraud, anything along that line that you people should be aware of, especially in our area. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming in today and sitting down with me. This is important stuff, really important. And yes, even people here in Brockville and surrounding areas are getting scammed, aren't they?
They are. It continues to be
ongoing. It is indeed. So what should we be aware of that is happening here in our backyard?
So we do have a couple of trends that we're seeing as part of my role in the Criminal Investigations Office. These are our files that we run with. It's about 1/3 of them are service provider frauds. So these are your trusted providers. They'll pretend to be your bank. They'll pretend to be your telephone service provider, your internet provider. And so those come with an expected level of trust when somebody believes they're talking to somebody representing somebody they've retained as a service provider.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so they become, they let their guard down even easier than the cold call scams that do exist and are still successful. So we're seeing about 1/3 is that. And so the message is trust but verify,
Yes.
right? And
yes.
so always call your service provider directly. You call them. You don't accept a patch through or a transfer. Call your bank directly. Have a conversation with the teller. You know, if you're mobile and you're able, go into the bank and say that you're just offered this feature or this service. Ask them.
Yes.
Because they don't have the ability to be with you at all times, but they're certainly willing to take the call. And I think for the most part, you'll find that these trusted service providers who want you to move your money, provide your personal details over the phone to them, they are not legitimate. So trust but verify.
The other thing that I find too is there's always a number that is given. Call this number, blah, 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 to do whatever. And what I'm thinking is, no, don't use that number. Make sure that you have the correct telephone number of the institution that you're wanting to reach.
It's very important to reach out directly to that branch yourself and not with a number provided.
No.
It takes 10 seconds to do a Google search. Right? And if you don't have your local branch on speed dial, you can find them there, and it will save you potentially thousands of dollars in headache.
Yeah.
Because the banks can't always recoup your loss, and
True
a lot
enough.
of people have to eat that loss.
So how is AI, the technology that is rolling out, how is that affecting people? And I understand that voice recognition is a big...
So there's dangers with AI. It is fantastic technology for a lot of things, but we have to be true and cognizant of the dangers. A 3-second voice clip is the average that's needed now to create a reasonable representation of your voice. 3 seconds of you talking. It used to be 15. It's down to 3.
Wow.
So when you get what we see sometimes is those phone calls you'll pick up and nobody's there, and an individual will go, hello? Hello, are you there? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I've just given them enough of a sample of my voice to perhaps do something nefarious with.
Yes.
So my advice is always, if there's nobody talking to you when you answer your phone, don't talk to them.
Hang up.
Hang up.
Yeah. After
right?
2 calls, if you're not talking to me, I'm gone.
Right? If it's a bad connection and they really need to get you, they'll call you back.
Somebody will reach you.
That's right.
You know, somebody will, that's for sure. So some other things that are happening in our area. We have a lot of seniors here in Brockville. So how do we protect them?
The best advice, I talk to seniors groups and I tell them, find a trusted person, find a trusted relative. Some people may not have relatives close at hand. Find a friend, somebody that you can soundboard any potential scam with, and trust yourself. If it's too good to be true, if you're feeling there's something not quite right, talk to that trusted person. Call the police, ask us for advice. We have an information line. We certainly wouldn't mind talking to you and hearing what you're dealing with, and we can very quickly get a sense for whether this is legitimate or not.
Yes.
But take the time to sound it out with someone. There was something else I wanted to mention in that regard. with your family, when you do have family, consider a safe word.
Oh, I've got one.
Right?
Yes, I did
have
that.
one. I have one as well with my young boys. Right.
Yes.
So you have a safe word that you ask them for, and if they're not going to be able to provide it to you, they can't guess it.
No.
And so you're protected that way. So that's
True.
a good thing to do if
Yes.
if you talk to your family about that.
Yeah, especially the grandkids, because there's the scam about the grandkids having problems or whatever.
Yeah, it's the relative in trouble scam.
Yes.
And we see that that's prolific in this area. We had a recent spate of it in the last month or so. We've had multiple occurrences. And what they'll do is they'll be so emotional that it kind of sounds like your relative, but they're very emotional. So you chalk it up to that.
Right.
Last thing I'll say there is urgency. If it's urgent and they want it right now and it needs to be done immediately, that should be your first red flag. To be like, nothing is that urgent, really, at the end of the day, in sober reflection, that you need to move your money or jeopardize or put yourself at risk right now. So cause that pause, as we say, cause the pause.
Yes.
Talk to your sober friend, your trusted person, and hopefully we can mitigate some of the success these fraudsters are having.
We're in income tax season. Yes, calls from CRA. CRA never calls, do they?
They do.
Oh, they do?
I have talked to CRA representatives who are happy with our efforts, but have also said they've tried to reach clients who won't speak to them.
Oh, okay.
So it does happen.
Yes.
But again, it comes down to what are they asking you to do? They will not ask you to send them money. They will not ask you to pay your return with a different currency or gift cards or things of that. The CRA will never do that. And they are always willing to say, please contact the CRA at the government number that you can find on Google, and then ask to speak to somebody about this tax issue that I'm trying to talk to you about.
Yes.
They're never going, there will be no urgency. They're not going to want you to do it today, right now. And so that's when you know that perhaps the CRA person is legitimate.
Well, I think the other thing too is asking for a gift card. That should be a red flag as well. I mean, come on, gift cards? Like, whoa.
And unfortunately, these fraudsters,
Yes.
this is their job. They're very convincing. This is what they do. And so, yes, I agree. I would like to say that, anybody who's asking you to pay a bill or transfer in any denomination, but then convert it into a plastic card or a gift voucher, immediately red flags should be going up. But you'd be surprised, Doreen, at the number of people that were trusting and they got duped.
Well, we are, and that's our problem. That's what's working against us, is that we are trusting.
Yes.
A kind person that's on the phone, that's talking to you and having a nice conversation. They want to know a little bit about you. Well, there's a reason why they want to know a little bit about you, right?
Well, and on that note, we used to say, protect your information. The reality of our current world, they have your information. So the calls will be personal. They will know your name. They will know where you live. They will potentially know your email address, what financial institutions you use. Because with the number of data breaches that have happened over the last decade, information is out there. And so we're shifting from protect your information, which is still good advice. But recognize that those calls will be personal. And just because they know about you doesn't make them legitimate.
Right. Yeah, it's so true. One of the other things that I've noted that has been ramped up is scams on real estate. Somebody is advertising a property out in BC, and of course you want to purchase it because it's what you're looking for, but it really doesn't exist.
At the height of the real estate boom there post-COVID, when things were very active, we saw a lot of that. We're seeing less of that now.
Okay.
But yeah, we were having people buying properties sight unseen.
Yes.
And then showing up and having someone answer the door who resides there, and you're out all that money, all that deposit money, whatever you might have been asked to spend. And then they come to the police station and it's
like, you can't do anything. You can't help them.
I mean, there are investigative avenues, but digital crime is tough to follow the patterns. I mean, there are methods available, and we do have great success stories. But yeah, it's difficult.
Thank you for coming in and sitting down with me. And
thanks for having me.
And we'd love to have you back. again, to talk about more scams and frauds and everything else that's happening, because it's rampant right now.
I love technology. That's part of my role, is extracting data from cell phones and technology and stuff at the Brockville Police Service. So anytime, I would love to.
I appreciate that. Thank you.